A lot to talk about on today's show. I thought I'll have a very interactive show with all of you guys. Looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say as a fan base. I'm probably going to be reading out a lot of comments in the comment section today. So if you guys are joining me, it's your lucky day from that perspective. You've always asked me to answer a lot of questions. And when the shows get really busy, I struggle to get to them. So today I'll try my best to try and answer as many questions as possible. But we are live and we are here in Cricket Fanatics Magazine. I'm going to be talking about the areas of concern in the Proteas setup, particularly in the T20 arena. And then we're going to talk some Test cricket, obviously the Proteas women. We're going to talk about how the game has slipped away from them actually after them being in quite control, I would say, after lunch. Going towards tea, they seem to be quite in control at some point in the match, and then the match just went away from them. So we'll be talking about that too, and maybe we'll touch on a little bit of other things regarding South African cricket as well. Let's see how much time we have available to be able to do so. But before we get going, before we get started, I would like you guys to first do this for me. Join the community by subscribing to the channel, clicking that notification bell for all future videos. Smash that like button, please. That's how we get into recommended feeds, as well as comment in the comment section. But also share this with your friends and family. It's very important that you do so that we can continuously grow as a channel and continuously bring you great content. That's what we want to be doing on a consistent basis. So please get involved there. Download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every single month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. Then you can also become a patron today. This is how you join our community even further. This is how you support us. Also support us financially by getting involved with the patron account. It's also an opportunity for us to be able to do some exclusive content directly to you guys as the fan base. So this is us looking after you too, and you guys looking after us and joining the family. And then down the line, we will be doing many other things for our patrons, secret shows. We will also be doing some merch, etc. So many other things, and it will also work towards us one day getting a studio somewhere, which would be awesome. Go to cricketfanaticsmag.com as well for all your updates. And without further ado, let's get straight into this video. I will be also getting into the live chat as well. So welcome everybody that has joined us on the show. Let's get straight into today's content. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid. This is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, South Africa are currently playing England in a test match, as we know. After Marazan Cup had an excellent debut, maiden 100 for South. England have come back quite strong, despite being 121 for 5. South Africa bowled really well. Annika Bosch particularly was the wicket taker. Nadine de Klerk showing decent consistency. Tumi Sukakane as well, doing very, very well on her debut. 9 debutants in this team. Marazan Cup as well, bowling quite well. And also Mlaba doing very well as well with the spin. But I'm going to talk about specifically what this game has taught us, because right now England is sitting on 324 for 5 after 98.2 overs. This is a dominant display. They've gone into the lead right now. It was a dominant display, particularly by 2 batters. And that's kind of exactly the blueprint of what we want to see South African batters do in this particular match. Nat Silver was excellent. She got a 100. We also have an excellent 100 from Alice Davidson Richards. But there's a lot of criticism that I'm also going to throw. Besides good batting from the 2 batters, there's criticism I'm going to throw towards South Africa, because I feel that it's a slight dose of criticism, I would say, because it's not necessarily, it will be very harsh for me to actually criticize them completely. What I think went wrong is the 9 debutants, of course. That's going to cause a lot of issues, because Test cricket is not a game just for anybody. And if you haven't played even 4-day, there is no 4-day cricket in South African in the women's game. So the chances of them to be able to play a high level of test cricket, or that you could tell as a long format red ball cricket, is not what we are getting in South Africa. So, like it is, a lot of these debutants, it would have been the first time they would have played the long format red ball cricket. So it's interesting to see how that works, because um, it's a good stepping stone, I feel, for South Africa, because it's been 8 years since the last time we played Test cricket. Now, what I think is, I don't think our lines were really good today, particularly from our fast bowlers. Particularly to Alice Davidson Richards, she was dominating on the offside, and she was struggling with a straight delivery. So any balls that were coming from fourth stump into off stump or into middle stump, she was struggling to get that off the square. So that's a weakness that I saw throughout today's play, at least. Because I'm keeping an eye on it as we speak, actually watching it as we speak. I felt that that our lines were a little bit too short and a little bit too wide. It made it easy for them to play off the back foot, particularly also Siva. Nat just stood back, waited for the ball to come into the bat. We don't bowl quick enough necessarily for the ball to necessarily come onto the bat quick, or for the batters to be beaten by pace. We were bowling around the 100-kilometer mark, majority of our fast bowlers, and they could literally just wait for the ball to move in and play it on the offside through the gaps. And that's how they scored majority of their runs, both batters. As soon as you go straighter and as soon as the ball's moving off the seam, the batter struggled. And I felt that the consistency is missing. Now, that is normal. It's understandable, I think. I think it's very understandable for them to be inconsistent right now, because, I mean, as I said earlier on, not a lot of them have played this longer format. And the only way you play this, and understand this longer format, is if you play it. Four-day cricket is so important in South Africa, and if I even move on even to the men, four-day cricket is very difficult for South Africa. I mean, we're seeing the likes of Nadine de Klerk bowl over 23 overs today. To me as well, 18 overs. It's something that they probably wouldn't have done in their career so far. Um, when it comes to that, particularly crazy. But good signs from some of the bowlers. I think it's a good lesson for all of these players to learn the patience game, because that's what Nat Silver and that's what Nat Silver and Davidson Richards have in common, is that they were very patient today. They they took the game away from South Africa after tea completely. They just completely dominated. So there are lessons to be learned. I think it's good lessons. I mean, England have been playing Test cricket for quite some time. So I mean, some of these players would have not even dreamt about playing Test cricket until it was announced that we were going to be playing this first Test. So it's crazy that this has happened, and it's good for South African cricket in the way forward, and it will teach these players excellent lessons in the other formats. Um, it was an interesting thing that I was thinking about over here, and the difference is in T20 cricket and in white ball cricket in general, you're using a lot of variations as a bowler. Um, you rely on variations and trying to trick the opposition batter. In Test cricket, however, it's a lot about consistency and putting it in the right areas over and over and over again. And that's something that you could see that our bowlers are learning on the job. It's something that you can actually really watch and witness. I do think that they need to pull this back, get a wicket, get a breakthrough, and get themselves back into the match. But so far, I think it's good lessons learned. It is what it is. We're playing against a very good side here. Did really well in the first two spells. It's that third spell that we need to learn how to dominate in. And I think that will come with time and an experience. I like this unit of players. I like the mentality. I like the togetherness. All of those type of things. Excellent from their part. Um, and like I said, I have to give a shout out to obviously Annika Bosch, who bowled beautifully today. Um, not as economical as she'd maybe hoped, but still very very good performance from her on that part. Okay, let's get into the main topic of today's show, which is the areas of concern for the Proteas in the T20 arena. I've got quite a few areas of concern. Top of the order, we need to sort that out. Particularly Bavuma needs to come to the fold if they're going to continuously pick him. I think that that number six position is an area of concern still for me. I think they need to pick a designated number six that can be there for the next couple of years. And I think for the bowling department, we need to make a call on who's going to be our main seamers. I think that Lungi Ngidi, Andrik Nokia, KG Rabada have all shown what they're capable of. Marco Janssen has shown signs of it. And we're also going to have to make a decision on what we're going to do with our all rounders, whether we're going to play two seaming all rounders or whether we're going to play one. What is going to be the way forward? But what I think is more of a major concern is finding a replacement for Aiden Markram. Someone that can occupy that position, that six bowling option that they're always talking about, a batter that can bowl. I think they need to sort out that position. South Africa, find someone that can replace someone like Aiden, because when he's not available, we can't be playing two anchor type of slower batters on the top of the order. When people are missing. And we have to find a way on how to replace Quinton Cock when he's missing too. We can't be having two anchors at the top of the order and having 4 or 5 anchors in the team, or 3 anchors in the team. I mean, it's going to completely destroy us with the way T20 cricket is going. More and more and more so, the conversations have been happening. The more I sway towards this aggressive brand of cricket that we want to see in T20 cricket as fans. Like I've always wanted an adaptable style of cricket because I felt that South Africa produces those type of players that are adaptable and that can adapt the game to conditions, because I do think that that's important. But we need to have players and batters in the team with an attacking mindset, that have a way forward, that look forward and want to attack. But that's some of the areas of improvement I feel that needs to be improved. Also, running between the wickets, finding ways to score runs in difficult periods, something that's very important. It's like we fixed one issue with regards to our positivity against spin, particularly. I think our batters are playing really well against spin, from right from the top to the bottom of the order. And now a whole lot. Now that we sorted that out, it's kind of other other problems have reared its head. But let's get into the comment section. We start with Jacuzzi Liquor Stage 6. Yes, I'm not excited about this, guys. Stage 6 load shedding is ridiculous. I don't know how we're going to operate and how we're going to survive this. But we find a way to survive. I think that's what's great about South Africans. We are always in survival mode, finding ways to survive. Lorenzo saying, Khalid, in my opinion, our biggest area of concern is that opening partnership between Quinton de Kock and Temba Bavuma. Majority of the games we lose in the power play. Our second concern is not having more aggressive backup batters. I agree with you 100%, Lorenzo. Temba Bavuma, if he's going to be the captain and they're going to continuously pick him, he needs to sort out his game. He needs to sort out his mentality. He needs to sort out his approach. He needs to find a way and to be more positive in the power play so that he can support Quinton de Kock at best as possible. We also need Quinton de Kock to come to the fold more often. He needs to find a way to be more consistent. He needs to find a way to get less frustrated when things are not going his way, and find a way on how to dig in and score big runs for South Africa. That's what we need from him as he's getting older, as he's moving towards speciality in white ball cricket. We're going to need Quinton de Kock more and more and more to do that and to perform the way he does in other tournaments. We've seen him. I mean, for the Blitz, he's performed pretty well. Not always with his opening partner at the other end, not always matching him. But he's performed really well in the IPL as well and in other leagues. So I would like to see more consistency from Quinton, but I also want to see Temba up his game. It's not good enough, his current 128 strike rate as an opener for South African T20 cricket. I feel that needs to move up. He needs to find more boundary options. He needs to find out how he can maintain dominance within a game when Quinton de Kock is not coming to the party. He also needs to find a way on how to get Quinton de Kock in. He also needs to find a way how to foil and protect Quinton de Kock. Very, very important roles for Temba Bavuma, besides just being a captain and leading from the front, which you expect from your captain. Let me rather say we have aggressive batters that can be backup batters, but they can start. But unfortunately, our selectors is thinking of the smart cricket, smart conservative, I'd say. You see, that it's not the smart thing that I have an issue with, Lorenzo. This is the second time I think that you've mentioned it. I think you mentioned it on yesterday's show as well. The smart aspect is not what I'm concerned about. It's that aggressive that you're talking about. That's what I'm concerned about because we're not showing that aspect of it. We are showing signs of us starting to think more about the game, about conditions, about maybe bringing out players and surprises and all of these things. But I feel like we've done all of these smart decisions or smart things or unexpected moves without having a foundation of aggressive cricket laid already. Um, so that smart aspect needs to be added afterwards. I think smart comes after you've identified the style of cricket that you want to play. And to win World Cups, I think both the women and the men's in the men's arena, both teams have shown that being positive uh, and playing with freedom is going to win you a trophy. So clearly, what we have done has not been good enough, and we need to improve that if we want to win a trophy. In the past, it hasn't worked. Whatever we did in the past hasn't worked. We've choked every single time we had an opportunity to get close to winning a trophy. We've been favorites in World Cups where we haven't performed really well. Many occasions we've been heartbroken. 99, 2003, 2015. So many times we've been heartbroken. So we need to find a way on how to correct that. And I think that is by finding systems win things, guys. Like we can see it in football, we can see it in rugby. We've seen it. South Africa's rugby system, the way we built a system in South Africa, an amazing pipeline from school level right up into club cricket, club rugby, right into varsity cup, into Western Province, back into franchise rugby, right up into the Springboks. There's a proper pipeline from the minute that you are born in South Africa. The first time you play, if you go to a decent school at primary school, you are already in the system. You start your rugby career starts then. Your experience starts then. You start growing your confidence already from a young age, and your ability is instinctive by the time you get to high school. Things just are easier for you than it is for others. I was someone that played rugby only for the first time in grade 8, and a fellow student and friend of mine as well. He did so too. He went on to be a first team player, and it took a lot of effort from him, and it took a lot of him having to stand out in games for him to continuously. Obviously, it took natural strength. He was a big guy, natural strength, speed as well. Thought very smart on the field. But besides those attributes, natural attributes, he had to learn about the game quickly. And the way he's developed over the years, I mean, it takes only one or two outliers to do something like that. Not everybody can come out and do such a thing. Cricket's even more so because it's more technical. There's more coaching involved. There's more technical aspects involved. There's more thinking of the game involved. There's a lot more involved. So we need to sort out these type of things. Systems are so important, and it starts at the top. How do the Proteas want to play? Because we heard smart aggressive, and we heard our under 19 coach say the same thing before the World Cup, that they want to play a smart aggressive style of cricket. Um, and yet, every single time things get a little bit difficult, we go back into our shell and we play this conservative brand, which is a problem in South Africa. We need to sort that out. We need to take that fear out of our players. We need to take that conservative fear, that conservative nature. We have to puncture it a bit, because I don't think taking it away completely is smart, because I do feel that sometimes it's needed. Like you saw in the World Cup, there were times when it was needed for Temba and Riza to actually dig their heels in and perform the way they did. Um, but we need to find a way on how to lean more towards an attacking style, a proactive brand of cricket that's really going to put pressure on the opposition. Something that we really need to do. Ravi Kumar saying, "Don't worry, Lorenzo Temba is a legend. He will come good in England and Australia and take SA all the way to victory in England and World Cup trophy in SA." We all wish that that could happen. Area of concern is Bavuma in T20s. I've already spoken about that in quite in depth. Suraj saying SA needs a proper opener in T20 format who can give SA fire case to start at the top, and guys who can give better use of important power play. Guys like Riley Lasau Previs, not anchors like Bavuma. Bavuma is an all format player and deserves to play all formats, says Ravi. If CSA don't want to lose their ego, then invest in players like Wesley Marshall, Cameron Dalport, Previs Lubber at the top. That's not really investing, I would say. Besides Wesley Marshall and Brevis, I would say maybe and Lubber. I mean, Wesley Marshall and Lubber are similar age groups. Lubber closing in on 30, Wesley Marshall just over 26. I think he's about 26, 27, if I remember correctly. Cameron Dalport, I mean, never was in contention for South Africa, and now all of a sudden we are looking at him. So he was never before looked at in his peak. So it's interesting to say that, say the least. I would like to see Cameron Dalput do a lot more before we consider. Like, I think Cameron Dalput needs to have like consistency bat and ball. He has to have like a Miller season in domestic cricket for me to consider him. Right in the show, definitely. I think he's been having a manic season. You see, if we're gonna bring back any of these older guys into the mix, I'm gonna remain and keep my same train of thought that I've gave when Rassi was picked. If we're gonna pick experienced players, they need to hit the ground running. We can't. I don't want to be giving time to experienced players. I'd rather give time to a younger player. They're going to learn so much more from the experience. They're going to learn so much more about the game. It's going to improve them so much more, and we can have them for a lot longer. Learn the lessons early, and then um, get better with time. So I would rather invest that time and give that opportunity to a youngster who can come into a setup where there are other experienced players that have played for South Africa, and they can learn maximum. They can get maximum output of their learning experience. So for me personally, I would lean towards more of a Brevis. I would lean more towards the likes of Tony Rizorzi now, who's mid-20s, the likes of those Matthew Brietskis and those Bryce Parsons of the world. Um, I would look at the likes of Daniel Smith and and give these guys opportunities as well, because there are a lot of youngsters that are putting up their hands. Mapongwana is doing excellently. Um, there's quite a few. We can go on and on. Sibs Makanya is another one. So I would invest into these players that are mid twenties, more and under, because I feel that they will give us more. So that's just my personal experience. Unless someone like Ryder Rousseau is doing a madness at the age that he is, he doesn't need to still be eased in. He can slot straight in and he needs to perform. Maybe give him 1 or 2 games to loosen up if he hasn't performed well or he's not hit the ground running. But after that, then I expect him to score runs consistently. Not here and there. I want consistent runs from him. Bevis would be perfect to replace Markram. It is a very good option. It's a very good shout because he bowls as well. It would be a very good replacement, and I think that needs to be considered. I think they need to have Brevis at least on standby. If he's not going to travel with the team, make him a non-traveling reserve at least. Making sure that he's on standby for South Africa, so that we as fans can have some sort of understanding and we can feel some security with regards to where the future is. And I don't want to see players being switched, those reserves being switched out. One tour, then it's this person and that person, XYZ, that is going to be the reserve. And then the next tour comes around, then we got new reserves. And then we have an opportunity to play, give people opportunities, and we don't pick any of our top players. And then none of the reserves that were at previous major series get picked for those games where they're trying people out. It's mind-boggling. It's crazy. I think there's no thought process involved with that system. There needs to be a proper pipeline system in place. I'm not very happy with the way we are approaching things once again with regards to selection. It's really irritating me actually, because I've been talking about it for quite some time. I've been talking about it, that we need to find a way to make sure that the next in line are available, and that irritates me that we're not getting that right. Because if I ask any of you guys who are the next in line, who do we think Mark Boucher and Victor Mpetsang think are the next in line number threes, fours, fives, sixes, openers, whatever the case may be, I doubt anybody will be able to say the same answer, and that's a problem. I think we as a fan base also need to understand that. Khalid, we have three guys in our starting 11 who are known as slow starters. Rassi van der Rissen, Temba Vuma, Aiden Markham. Do you think that's the way forward? I mean, Aiden Markham has shown different signs, I feel, in recent times in T20 cricket. He hasn't necessarily been a very slow starter all the time. I think that the conditions determine that, in my opinion. Like when in UAE, the wickets weren't as easy to get going immediately. So Aiden Markham took a little bit of time there. I do think though that we are leaning towards too many. Um, like three is like the fact that I mean two is for me is minimum. I don't see Aiden as necessarily the same as RVD and Temba Bavuma. But two is two is just enough. I would have been happy with one, deciding on one. But the way Rassi's performing recently, Rassi can't get dropped. He's too important for South Africa at the moment because he's performing. So it's crazy. Why not giving Aiden captaincy and trying Linda ahead of Keshaf? Um, yeah, I mean, for me, I would have given Aiden the vice captaincy because I thought that he was the future captain. I mean, I've spoken about this on a previous show as well. Um, if they don't see, if they don't see Keshaf as the next captain, he shouldn't be vice captain. That's my opinion. Your vice captain needs to be the next in line captain. And if he's not going to be your next captain, then why is he vice captain? So, in my opinion, that's what I would like to see. Um, George Linder was hard done by. I've said it so many times on the show. I think it was unfair the way he was treated. Um, from being a starter in the team, being considered as that sixth batter, and perhaps also um, one of the main spinners in the team, second spinner in the team, to go from that to being completely out of the team, from to being World Cup reserve, and then out of the Proteas setup altogether after performances in Test cricket as well with the ball. You see, I mean, the only negative remark I can have about George is the fact that he hasn't maybe shown his quality with the bat the way we know he can bat. You know, the George Linder, the batter at domestic cricket, is a different ball game, and we haven't seen that at international level yet. So I'm hoping that we will see that. Um, I also believe Bjorn Fortuin, because of what he offers as like he can open the bowling for South Africa, his ability to be able to bowl under pressure. If you look at his record compared to George Linder's record, it's almost identical. Um, so it's crazy. The two of them are excellent bowlers. Bjorn has just edged him with regards to winning. Bjorn's won so many trophies already for the Lions. Paul Rocks, so many, and he's been pivotal in all of those wins. 4-day games as well. He's won for the team. I'll never forget the 180 he scored. Um, Probably the Cobras' best chance to win a 4-day competition. They were batting excellently that year. I mean, everybody came to the party. Zubair Hamza, David Benningham, Kyle Verreynne, George Linder. They were unbelievable that season. And in the last game of the season, even Jason Smith came to the party, particularly against the Titans. And in the last game of the season, the Lions pulled off a magnificent win to actually win the 4-day series. Enoch and Nkwe obviously winning a trophy, and it was a phenomenal display by the Lions. But I mean, there's so many occasions where Bjorn has been in those crunch moments and come through on top and been a pivotal part of it, not just being in a team of it. Like, you can often say, yeah, you see, he's part of a team that has won everything. But what did he actually do to actually help them get there? Well, Bjorn's helped them in almost every format, win matches. Bat, ball, does in the field, doesn't matter. The man's winning mentality, that's something that's intangible. That's something that you can't necessarily learn. I wouldn't say it takes. You can probably learn it, but it takes a very long time for you to win consistently, to get that mentality and to get that mindset. So for someone to have that will to win and desire to want to be the main guy, I think that's so important, because that means you don't fear away from tough situations. And I think that's an aspect that Bjorn has that I think maybe edges George. Um, George has been given many opportunities to be that main guy in crunch situations, and it hasn't always come to fruition. He showed signs of it. Yes, I'm not going to say he hasn't, but Bjorn has shown more. Um, and also, you could say that maybe Bjorn's helped because he has a star-studded team at the Lions. But when the Proteas aren't available for the Lions, it's not as strong as a team as we think. Um, so yeah, I will give props to both of those bowlers. I think both of them have been hard done by when it comes to the Proteas. Um, Khalid, are you traveling to England for the coming SA England series later this month? I am fighting hard to find a sponsor, guys, because that's the only way I'm going to go. Is if a sponsor gets on board with regards to the Test series. I'm not planning on going for the white ball stuff. I'm planning on going for the Test series. I would love to go to the Test series. So if any sponsors are watching this video, get involved with us. We got over 100 pieces of content that we're going to be producing for the test if I go. Um, and there's so many opportunities for you to get involved with sponsorships and getting your brand on our content, because our content, I feel, will do really well in the England tour. I mean, for the India tour, we had over 1 million views on Facebook for the month, for the duration of the tour. So I mean, your content, your brand will be seen by many people. Um, so get involved, because that will help us get there. And if you get involved with us, then it will help me get there and experience something that I've always dreamt of, guys. So we need all the help we can get with regards to that, please. Get involved with a Patron account as well. That also is a way to help me get there. I would really like to do it. It's really a dream series for me. Khalid, can you name some of SA's domestic leg spinners, because we need in the squad? Shamshi is not good enough. Oh, Shan is not so good. We're leg spin bowling. I wouldn't agree with you that Shamsi is not so good. I think Shamsi currently is just maybe going through a bad patch, but before that, he had like a whole year of dominating for South Africa. So I wouldn't just one purple patch and then decide, oh no, he's crap. He's not. He's still world class. He's rusty though. Definitely, we saw that in this tour. He wasn't doing at his best against India. Um, I feel that he needs to find a way on how to keep his rhythm up. Because Shamsi, it's obvious he's not as fit as the others. So I feel that he does need to keep his rhythm up, his fitness up and stuff when he's not playing cricket. Find a way. If he doesn't get picked in the IPL, then find another way to keep your energy up, keeping wickets sticking over, getting that rhythm and keeping it going. So yeah, there are quite a few left arm spinners actually in South African cricket. Talking about Mutasami, George Linder, Bjorn Fortuin. Not necessarily leg spinners with regards to wrist spinners. There aren't many of them domestically. I haven't seen many of them that I know of personally. Obviously, I have to look a lot harder. Maybe there's some youngsters coming through, but there are a lot of legs. There are a lot of left arm spinners coming through, but not necessarily wrist. And we need some wrist spinners. You're right. We need to find the next Imran Tahir, and we need to find the next Tabray Shams as well. Maharaj is captaincy material, and that is one of the reasons why he's picked. And I respect CSA for picking him over Linda. Khalid, brother, Mitchell van Buren is perfect. Future replacement of Rassi, because, but like, I mean, has Mitchell van Buren done it enough for you to say that he can just replace Rassi already? I mean, geez, I think that white players really get it a lot easier when it comes to the fan support, because they don't have to do much for them to actually get um, called up into teams with regards to fans calling them up into teams. Um, and I mean, there are loads of young players. There are loads of young players in the domestic setup that still need to do a lot, I feel, until they get to a point where I feel that they are ready for international cricket. I don't think every single person should be fast track just because they're doing well. They need to be doing well in the right way. They need to be doing right in the right aspects of the game. I feel that they need to be doing things correctly in stages. And they need to do it consistently. Reynard van Tonde is one of the most talented batters that I've ever seen in my lifetime, watching schoolboy cricket, etc. Dominant, strong, um, technical, amazing cricketer, brave. He has all the attributes that you want for a test cricketer. Had an amazing opening season, had an amazing opening second season, and then had flopped the third season. So we're going to have to see how he does the fourth season. Does he come back from that? Because, I mean, he was in the mix before Keegan Peterson got selected and hit the ground running for South Africa. So there's only 11 spots in the team, unfortunately. But I want to see that pipe. I want to see the vision in the pipeline. I want to see the vision in the reserves. And I don't see that currently. I have to admit. Khalid, if you allow me, I will try to get you a sponsor. Many of my clients are sponsoring journalists and freelancers. Arvind, if you can, please DM me. Get involved. Um, DM me and let me know what you think uh, on Instagram, on Twitter, or email me at cricketfanaticsmag@gmail.com. Please get in touch. We need all the help we can get, please. In a few years down the line, we'll have our own fantastic fanatics army traveling around the world supporting the boys. That is the dream, bro. That is exactly the dream and the goal. So now you guys know the vision. Help me get there, because really, guys, I want to do so many things with fanatics. With regards to cricket, with regards to other sports too, guys. I have a vision for many things. It starts with cricket fanatics, and then it will move from there. But let's just try to make this a dominant force in South African cricket first. Junaid Dawood, of course, he's gonna kill me for that because he's actually a friend of mine as well. He's gonna kill me for not mentioning him. Junaid Dawood's really good. From an offie perspective, even on Manak, we can also talk about him. He's really good. I don't know why he hasn't gotten more opportunities, SAA, etc. Because that man has also shown those qualities that I spoke about with regards to Bjorn. He's shown similar qualities as well. Tough also for him to get into the team. Also at the Titans, when he was at the Titans, it was tough for him to get into that team, and he still performed. Very good attitude as well, and mentality, and the way he thinks about the game. I've had some amazing talks. Maybe I should get Junaid Dawood, some of those spinners on the show, and have a chat with him and see where they're at. Khalid, I wanted to know when we will talk about Quinton Cock, the T20 batter. Yes, we're going to do a show on that. Definitely, Sadiq. We will talk about him as the T20 batter. A lot to talk about when it comes to that. Carl Simmons and Sean Whitehead is left arm spinner. Yes, they are. Why is there such a little talk about Quinton Cock T20I stats? He seems not interested at times. Plus the ICC. And this is what I wanted to discuss before. I've spoken about it so many times already. I said, I know we all focused on Temba Bavuma because of how slow he's batting and all of these things, but we need to start talking about Quinton, particularly in knockout competitions. Like, it shouldn't have been allowed for him to do what he did in the World Cup, to decide that he's just going to pull out. Rosa, he just does what he wants whenever he wants to, and we kind of just accept it and leave it. We just accept it. Everywhere he goes, people just accept that he's just going to do what he wants to do. When it comes to training, when it comes to everything, when it comes to batting, his approach, and when it comes off, he's flipping amazing. And we need to decide whether we as a nation are going to allow that, and as a cricketing fraternity as a whole, going to allow players to have that privilege to be able to do what they want whenever they want. I think that particularly in World Cups, Quinton de Kock has been poor. In T20 cricket, he hasn't been consistent enough. It will also take a lot of pressure off Temba Bavuma if Quinton de Kock comes to the field. I don't think we'll be talking about Temba as much if Quinton de Kock could be in form every single time they work together out as a pair. He also has a bit of an issue of finding partners at the other end in South Africa that can support his game or foil his game. He hasn't had the best of luck with regards to his partners at the other end. So we need to talk about Quinton Cock, and we'll do a show on that alone, definitely. Siyabonga Mahima is another player, yes, we must talk about. Very, very important as well. Yeah, and Sadiq saying Ryan Rickleton as well. It's just interesting that Ryan Rickleton was suddenly not in the mix anymore. He was being selected in almost every format for South Africa as a reserve, and then all of a sudden, boom, gone, not anymore. So it's weird. a lot of the decisions when it comes to selections I have an issue with, and I hope that they sort it out. I've always had an issue with the pipeline, the next in line in the planning. I feel we plan too late. We wait too late to decide that we're going to give a youngster an opportunity. We give our youngsters opportunities when they are now the main players in the team. When the youngsters are the core group of the squad. I feel like our youngsters, we do it very well with our bowlers. We ease our bowlers very well in, but I don't think we do it very well with our batters. Um, I think that we need to do it a lot earlier. Let them learn from the senior batters while they are in form. And we need to get Imran Tahir into the mix somewhere. From a spinning perspective, bowling consultancy or whatever the case may be. Get him into the mix because the man has so much knowledge. I mean, I've seen how he's helped Shunay Dawood with my own eyes in net sessions after Nelson Mandela Bay Giants' training session. Like he took time out of his own time. The bus left without him. He said he'll walk home to the hotel. Like he told the bus to leave without him so that he could help a spinner in the nets. I mean, that man is a gift to earth with regards to that. The humility, the humbleness that he has. He deserves a lot more respect from South Africa. And I feel that he needs to come into this coaching setup somehow. But there we go, guys. That's the show for today. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Aditya couldn't make it because he's flying. He's on a plane at the moment. So he couldn't make it. But please subscribe to the channel. Please click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash that like button, please, guys. Get involved with that likes. Smash that like button, comment, and share this to everybody. Share this to all your friends and your family. Other cricket people that you think could become fanatics or are fanatics already or looking to learn about the game. Because remember, guys, this is not only for guys that have reached that fanatics level. We are also trying to build a community here where we can teach each other about the game. I don't want someone that knows nothing about the game to feel intimidated when they come into the comment section or feel intimidated when they come to us. I feel that we need to take them under our wings and help them fall in love with this game and learn more about this game. It's such a beautiful game. So we need to share that because not everybody is going to be at the level that you guys are as fanatics, So I want us to get together and rally together and introduce new guys to the game. And I want Cricket Fanatics magazine to be the place where they can do that. When they're first looking for, oh, I don't know much about cricket. How can I learn more about it? How can I become a part of a community? This is where it's at. So share it with those people too that are trying to learn about the game. I think these conversations will really teach them a lot about different things, conditions, about the game itself. I know we don't talk too much about field position and all those type of things, but that's something that I feel that potential fans can learn from looking on the internet at different graphics, etc., to learn those type of things. But other than that, strategies, thought process, how our system works, how the school system works. That's very important that we be that community and that crutch for new people in the game because there's constantly new fans coming to the game. So share this with everybody that you can find. Also become a patron. You want to help us get to a tour. If you want to help us get sponsors, etc. If you want to help us, there is actually Arvind. This is to you. There is actually a tier in the Patreon account section. There is a tier for businesses who want to have sponsorship, get their banners on our articles and because our website does really well, actually, guys. And I don't know if you guys know that, but our website does phenomenally well with regards to traffic. It's actually one of our main sources of traffic. So there are opportunities for people to sponsor on those, to sponsor on our videos, to sponsor on Facebook. There's so many things that they can do with us. We can help them with marketing. Digital marketing is our strength. So get involved with us, and we will help as best as can to find a win-win solution for both us and the sponsor. So get involved in the comment section as well. cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your updates as well, guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to do all of the things that I've asked you guys to do, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another daily show. Take care, everyone. Bless all of you, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Peace.